Featherweight bout here, Luis Pajuelo coming in at minus 100 against Robbie Ring, who sits at minus 130. Ring is undefeated, 23 years of age for him out of the U.S. Pajuelo, 7-1. 4-1 in his last 5, 28 years of age for him. 5'11". For featherweights, 5'11", that's not, not too big, but it is bigger than Robbie Ring. I mean, 5'11" is a solid frame. You look at, the muscle he's got on it. It's pretty solid. Pajuelo out of Peru, and if you looked at like any of the Peruvian fighters as of recently, they're pretty tough dudes. I mean, you look at like a Borjas or even the Rolando Bedoya in the UFC, like these dudes are, if they're strikers, they're pretty tough on the feet. And this is exactly how Pajuelo fights. Like he's just going to walk you down and throw some hands with you. His only losses by split. He's been fighting on these kind of smaller promotions down in South America and Chile, all that type. It's tough to find a lot of film on him, but the film that I was able to watch, the guy he's going to walk you down and throw hands. That's what he wants to do. Robbie Ring, on the other hand, seems to be a big jiu-jitsu guy. He's going to want to take the fight to the ground. He's got all wins by finish. He's got some TKOs very early, 16 seconds, 13 seconds. These guys they're just cans, like just straight up. Like the guys that he's fought on the regional scene are straight cans, other than Jacob Kilburn, who used to be in the UFC. And if you watch that fight, I mean, it was a close first round, and then he catches him with a darce in the second round. Jiu-jitsu area is where he wants this fight to be, I would assume. On the feet, I think he's going to be outmatched. But if he gets into the ground, we'll see how good that jiu-jitsu is. What do you think happens?
Yeah, Pajuelo, you watch him, and he's just nonstop pressure in your face. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you from the bell. And a lot of times guys break on that pace. And even as the fights go on, like you do worry about him getting a little gas, throwing all of that volume. But I don't want to say he fades, because he doesn't fade, but his strikes are still there. They get less powerful. But as the fights go on, this guy is, or sorry, wait, hold on. I had my wrong notes up. He does like basically all first round finishes. Anyways, I started out right. He'll throw the kitchen sink at you. But I was watching one of his fights where he's getting tagged a lot. Like he almost throws caution to a win in a way that's wild, almost a brawling style, and he will get clipped. Obviously, he's tough enough to not get finished so far. He has all wins on his record. But I'm just not, I don't know. It makes me nervous against a guy like Robbie Ring, who is well-rounded, who does have a really slick ground game. If Pajuelo can't get in there and put this guy out, I mean, if he does start to fade a little bit and gives up a takedown, I think Robbie Ring's going to have the advantage on the ground. But like you said, man, Robbie Ring's just fighting these cans. That's all he's been fighting. You got 0-0 in his last fight, 8-6, 1-0, 0-2. I mean, that's just not a good look, and it makes you wonder if he's even ready for this stage. I mean, Pajuelo, if this thing doesn't go past the first round, I'd be willing to put my money as Pajuelo's getting the win. 7-1, 6 finishes. He does possess a lot of power, and he possesses a lot of volume. And yeah, man, it's an interesting one. For the pick, I'm going to go with Pajuelo. I think he will be hard to deal with for Robbie Ring, who's been fighting nothing but cans. He's not really seen a guy like this so far. And I'm just going to guess that he's probably going to melt under that pressure a little bit. And I'm probably going to take Pajuelo here inside the distance. I just think Robbie Ring a little bit too much too soon.
Yeah, I don't think Robbie Ring's going to be able to hang with him on the feet. And I don't think his wrestling is like that great that he's going to be able to get the fight to the ground with ease. Because you look at the fights that Robbie Ring has had, a lot of his opponents will take him down. It's just like taking him into his realm. His realm is going to be to try to submit you. So Pajuelo, I think he stays on the feet, just pressures him a lot, and I think he breaks down Robbie Ring and probably finishes him in some sort of fashion. If you look, Pajuelo was supposed to fight Tobias Harilla, and then Harilla had the visa issues. So Robbie Ring's the second opponent for him. I think Pajuelo gets it done here. So I got to take him.